Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Karen. You should know by now. This is Dee. We are interviewing the lovely, she's so sweet, the lovely Courtney Mroch this afternoon, well, this evening, I should say, from Haunt Jaunts. So please welcome her.
Hi, thank you, you guys. It's so good to talk to you, Karen, and to meet Dee.
Hello.
I know, finally, we get to talk, like face-to-face, kind of virtual, but still face-to-face.
Yeah, and I love that you left that message, and I was like, I didn't know you can do that on Facebook. I was, oh, her voice.
Oh, I sent Courtney a voice clip the other day, and it was new to her. So she was like, "I can hear you. What?" Yeah, I do tend to send a lot of voice clips.
I love it. It's so much faster, right? Just talk and go.
And the other thing is as well, you get to hear what someone sound. I know what you sound like because obviously I've seen your previous interview with Andy and Paul. So I know what you sound like because I watched your lives when you did your Paracon.
Well, I think you did something live a week or maybe this, I don't know, time's kind of a blur right now, but if I think about it, I actually saw you too before, so that's a little, but I was just so excited to personally hear your voice.
You got a private message from me.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to?
Whew, just, the Twilight Zone 2020. You never know. Every day is a new Twilight Zone episode.
So can you tell everyone about who you are and what Haunt Jaunts is to begin with? And then I've got like a load of questions.
Okay. Wow.
Not too many, because I know you're used to asking the questions rather than answering them. So it must be a bit surreal for you at the moment.
It is. It's pretty exciting. I'm like, whoa, people want to ask me something? No, or have anything to ask me? Besides, what did you do now? So Haunt Jaunts is a travel site for restless spirits. That's what it started as, but I sort of cover everything. If it's a paranormal or not, it could be horror, Halloween, paranormal, true crime, kind of cover the gamut of a lot of things. And then I write about sometimes my own travels, which I was traveling a lot, and then I wasn't even writing about them. So now actually I have time from the last 11 years to catch up and make my videos and put it out there. So that's what I'm trying to do actually, is just catch up on everything. And yeah, so it's fun.
So where can people find your videos? Can they find them down here?
Yes, Haunt Jaunts
website. Yeah, that's it. So they can go onto there and they can find your videos. And you said you're doing writing. So is this write-ups of all your experiences and things that you've done in the past? And
I write kind of everything. I don't share too many of my, and I don't really investigate because I just don't have patience for it. But I'm just very honest. But I love to travel. What's that, Dee?
It does take patience to investigate and energy.
It takes a lot of, and I'm made for patience for certain things, but I just like to travel and get, the history, the background. Sometimes I have experiences. The last one I had, we were at the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas, and it was funny. So my husband, I travel with him quite a lot, and for his work things, and then we always sneak something in. So if there's a haunted hotel and I can stay there, I stay there. And he's always like, let me guess, it's haunted. So we didn't ask for the haunted section, but what was weird was we kind of got a backstage tour, so to speak, of the whole hotel. This one bellhop, I was asking the front desk lady about the ghost, and he goes, did you have an experience? And I said, no, we just checked in and put our bags in our room. He's like, which floor? Where are you? We said, I think it was 8th floor, this side. And he goes, oh, you're not, you got to be on this side to have the experience. So he took us all around the hotel and showed us, this place. We stopped and talked to some of the, what do they call them? The people that do your rooms and stuff.
Oh, housekeeping.
The housekeeping.
It's just not coming to my brain. And they were telling us, things that they had seen. So then that night we went out and stuff and did stuff, came back, went to bed, and we're not thinking it. And I'd walked around all the floors in all the spots, with my camera. So I do a little bit, but I don't do like, use all the people on TV. So I was walking around just trying to get the ambiance. And then we went back to our room, and it was probably around 2 a.m. And my husband said, well, I heard footsteps, and the bed was here. The door to the hallway and stuff was on this side, and then my side was to the window. And I think I had the remote on my side. So I hear footsteps, and I'm like, oh my God, is it already time to get up? Because he gets up so early, and I was just not ready. I was exhausted. And then he from next to me says, do you hear footsteps? And I went, what? And he goes, never mind. And because he freaks out. Like, if we ever really had like a big experience, I think that would be it. I would never get to stay in a haunted hotel again. And so I was like, oh, we have a visitor. Like, I was so excited. So that was my last, but that was in February, I guess. Now that's then coronavirus, so lockdown.
Yeah. Jane says that she loves a haunted hotel on a road trip.
I like you, Jane. I'm with you.
Yeah, same. We like you. My husband gets up early. He's an early bird, and I'm definitely not. But we've stayed in quite a few haunted hotels, purposely, and actually asked for those certain rooms. And we might have some places that you're not allowed to investigate. We might have accidentally took some kit in our luggage, in our suitcase and stuff, and it might have accidentally come out of a bag and gone around the room and been set out somehow, Don't know how that happens.
It just, those happen. And he hates that, because if I book online and I'll say, please put me in, either if it's a room or a specific section, and he's like, oh God, you didn't do that again. He is not into this at all. So if anything, that was like the really first experience like that we've had. But we've had other things with him where he'll go somewhere and he knows it, especially Civil War area, which is weird because we're from out west. His family's from out. I mean, we have no Civil War history connection. It's weird. And so he gets there and gets mad. Like, this is disrespectful. And it's weird. It's weird how he reacts. But he says that's not paranormal. He's just very in tune with history. I don't forget how he puts it, but he doesn't say it's paranormal.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you I actually used to live in the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles?
What? And you survived? That's like the worst hotel for women. Oh my gosh.
Needless to say, I only stayed 1 month, but I was actually only 2 floors lower than where Richard Ramirez had been. Only I didn't know it at the time. I found it out on the very final day of checkout when I was moving to start a position in, thankfully, in the Beverly Hills Hilton, and I actually managed to get staff quarters there.
Ooh.
It was really, very hard work, long hours, but, at least I wasn't in the Cecil. But, I found out on my checkout day that what floor I'd been on, and some weird things happened.
I was just going to ask you that. Did anything weird happen?
Yeah.
I was like, yep. My gosh.
Some weird stuff.
So elaborate. Don't just leave us. Oh, there's some weird stuff happened. You can't just say that and just leave it. What's she doing, Courtney?
Okay.
I can tell by Courtney's face she wants to know the information.
And I didn't want to hijack your interview. I'm like,
I was on floor 10 and I was on a corner, and two rooms away from me, I started to hear, found out it was 2 rooms. It sounded like it was either just across the corridor, the hall from me, and it was so loud. And I was in pajamas because this was like about 10 p.m. and I'm watching TV lying on my bed. And this sounds like furniture being thrown around the room and loud voices. And I was quite shocked because I thought, there's a fight going on here. Okay. So I had a little look through the peephole and there's no one there. And I thought, well, maybe it's further up the corridor. So of course I can't see it. So I just listened for a few minutes and it abated. And I heard a door slam. Then I heard footsteps. So I thought, okay, well, it was two voices. There's one still outside and one has gone in the room. So I left it a little bit more and everything went quiet. So I went and lay back on my bed and I thought, okay, none of my business. It's been sorted. I'll just ignore it because I'm not from this country. It's not in the best of areas. I'm not getting involved. I want to live, thank you. And then about 10 minutes later, boom, and it starts again. But it sounded exactly the same, like it was in a loop. And I thought, okay, maybe somebody is watching a DVD and they've got it on really loud and they're just playing replay. So I got up and I didn't bother with the peephole. I opened the door and I looked to my right, which was just to walk around the corridor to the next part of the hotel. So I look left and there's nobody there, but I can hear it. So I walk in, I walk down the corridor and I get to the door it's the most loud at. And I knock on the door and I don't know why on earth I did. And it all went quiet. And I thought, okay, go back to your room really quick. Hopefully they'll never see you and you'll live forever. So I run it back to my thing and like close the door. But then I go on the phone to the front desk thinking there's people here going to have a fight. Front desk need to know about it because that's going to cost them a fortune. It sounds like they're breaking furniture. Anyway, two guys come up, lovely staff members, and they come up and they knock on my door and they want to find out if I'm okay. And they said, just stay in your room. And of course, I'm like, no. And I go out and I follow them and they knock on this door and then they unlock it. There's no furniture, there's no people, there's nothing. The room is completely empty. And they turn around and they say, please describe to me what it is that you heard. So I did. I went through the whole thing I've just told you guys. And they said, there hasn't been anybody living in this room for at least a year simply because this hotel is haunted. And they were about to say, if you want to check out, we'll give you a full refund. And I'm like, no, it's okay, fine. I know now why the problem is. And they said, literally, we called the guy George, just shout, George, shut up. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's all right. Obviously, it stays where it is. It doesn't interact. It's like, you know, maybe it's all residual because it's the same thing that goes on and on and on. And so I just went back to my room, locked the door, went to sleep. And weirdly, when I have been watching recently on YouTube, all of the videos about the things that have recently gone on over the past few years with that lovely young lady who sadly was found in the water tank. What did she do? She heard a fight outside her room. She looked through the peephole and it was an argument. And now she's passed away. And I watched this video and I thought, holy mo.
Was she on the 10th floor too?
No, I don't know what floor she was on. I really don't know what floor she was on at all, but it was just so chilling that her experience started in exactly the same way, only she went a different angle. But I mean, Karen will tell you, I'm weird and strange, and I take things differently. You know, I just feel for her family, to be honest, that it ended up the way it did for her. You know, she must have been terrified.
Yeah, when you watch that video and her react, I mean, you can see something is happening.
Oh, yeah. And when you watch the CCTV footage, even though it's grainy from the elevator,
yes,
when the doors close and the light changes, because there is something there. You can see spirit movement if you know what you're looking for. And I watched it and I paused it and there is a face. But then when the doors open, the air changes naturally in the elevator because it's just a metal box. So when the air changes, things move and the light from the corridor distorts the CCTV camera image. What is, of course, I have been in that particular elevator. And the elevators in that hotel, they do what they want to do, and you can stand there and you can push that button and it doesn't make any difference. It goes if it wants to go. So again, you know, it's just, you know, it's just weird, but yeah.
Whoa, that it freaks me. I'm just glad you survived. Like I haven't personally. Well, I know one other person who stayed there briefly, but a whole month. All I could think was the woman you're talking about. I'm like, you survived. You survived.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because the old building itself is stunningly beautiful. I mean, Art Deco, but original, not a remake. And you've got golden brown coloured marble, you've got brass, you've got plants, wrought iron metal frames, Venetian glass. It is beautiful, and now it's closed. It's actually closed. It's not even a hostel anymore. It's closed down. I was there in LA in October. My bus went past it on the way to the train coach station to get the coach up to Vegas to work for the newspaper. And I went past it, and there is a bus stop right next door to the Cecil, and my bus stopped, and I looked at it and I thought, that is so sad. But I think there's an ongoing something to do with the investigation. I'm really not sure. It's either that or people just didn't want to stay there anymore, and it's gone out of business.
But how cool that they believed you too. Like that they didn't automatically poo-poo you or say you're crazy, or I love when hotels do that. But
I do. I like when they embrace the paranormal because to bring in more interest. But and I've just seen down here, Christopher, I'm actually talking about the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. I'm glad I only lived there for a month, but maybe something would have happened more if I'd stayed there longer. And if it's possible, I would love to go back there with a team and investigate with cameras, but I don't think anybody can. Even Ghost Adventures couldn't get in there for legal reasons. It's completely locked down. Nobody's in. Yeah, completely closed down.
Wow.
So, and I took over your interview. Really, very sorry about that.
It's all right, Colin. We just interrupted a minute. So we started talking about your videos and things, Colin, that you've been making.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about those?
Yeah, I haven't put anything out yet. I've been trying to still edit because I wanted to try to do it more thematically. Well, I guess, what do you call it that? By place, I guess. So I wanted to start with Alaska because it's summer, and normally this time of year, or maybe July, we kind of alternate between July and August. We're in Alaska for at least a week or two. Normally it's I think we've been up there the last year we didn't get to go, and then this year, of course. It's my favorite. It's not my favorite. It's one of my very favorite places to go. So I wanted to start with that and kind of, do haunted hotels, haunted brothels.
What brothels you been to, Courtney?
Karen.
What? I gotta ask the questions. The public are gonna want to know.
Yeah, you wouldn't
She's
expect
talked about
me.
the hotels, so now she's moved on to brothels. We've got to find out about the brothels too.
Okay,
What brothels have you been going to, Courtney?
Yeah. The brothels are one of my favorite things, which you wouldn't. I mean, not to frequent them, but the haunted.
I knew what you meant.
This is really, you just wouldn't expect that from this, huh? But yeah, so the one of my favorite ones is Dolly's house. It's in Ketchikan, and they used to really say, yes, we think Dolly spirits here, we think maybe some other spirits. There's also another house, it's called Creek Street, and if you go down, it's just a little boardwalk with these little houses on them, and they're mostly shops now, and Dolly's house is kind of a museum. And if you go down there, there's another one too that's haunted, but might be like a business or something, not like a shop. And it's escaping me the name. But Dolly's house, you can go in and they'll tell you that they'll say unofficially, if you get a cool, working girl, because they all dress up and I just like how wild they are. They're just so free spirited. And so they'll say, if you get somebody like that's open, they'll say the stairs, go to the stairs, the top of the stairs. That's where the most activity. So of course I'm over there, and they'll let you take video and pictures, which is sometimes unusual. I don't know how it is over there, but they don't sometimes want you in the historic places.
Yeah, some places. We went to, wasn't a brothel. It was a castle. We went somewhere, the name's escaping me now as well. See where we went to. It's literally just I can see it, I can't think what it's called.
That's how I'm like,
My husband and I went somewhere and you weren't allowed to take photos. You couldn't do video and stuff. And but that was more so, I think, because of it was family owned.
Oh.
And the family still resided there in part of the building.
Oh.
So you weren't allowed to do any. It was a fantastic place, but you weren't allowed to do any video or photos, which is a bit rubbish, because I really, really wanted to go there to do that. And then when we got there, it was like all these signs saying, "Oh no, no photos, no video, no this, no, you can't take photos of this, you can't take photos of that." And I was like, "Oh, there's all this history, there's all this stuff here, like the furniture, clothing, items, loads, you know." And I was like, "Oh, I was gutted."
Yes, I hate when that happens, because all the good stuff, they're like, nope, can't do it. It's like, but this place, they were very good about go through, take as many, and it's really a small house. It's like the first, I think it's like maybe 2 or 3 rooms downstairs with the kitchen, and then upstairs, I think there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. It's very small. So if you really just wanted to walk through, you could be done in, less than 5 minutes. But I was in there for probably 45 minutes or an hour, and they're like, "You're still here." But I was trying. And again, like I say, I don't investigate. And here I am trying to, if nobody's coming around, I'm doing little quick EVPs. "Dolly, are you here?" I'm sure people are like, "What is wrong with her?" But I didn't catch it. I didn't feel anything. I didn't, I didn't sense anything. Oh, not that I'm, I don't profess to be that way, but I didn't have anything exciting happen. But it's a really cool one. And then the other one, which I didn't also have, but I was with a group, was the Red Onion in Skagway. They do a Ghost and Good Time Girls tour. And it was really fun. So, and again, the girls, dress up, and then they take you all around the town. So you get to do this walk. And my husband, I was going to say he volunteered to be the dirty, stinky miner, but I volunteered him because he's a real ham if he gets there. So he was doing dirty, stinky miner Wayne, doing stuff. And then I was doing the walk across the street. It's just crazy. But they have
fun.
What's that?
It sounds like fun.
It was so much fun. And they have 2 ghosts, and one ghost they'll talk about. She's a girl. The other ghost they won't, because they feel that gives him power, and he's a very bad, mean ghost. So one person on our tour knew and brought that up. She said, "Well, what about this one? You're not talking." She goes, we just don't talk about him." So I don't know what exactly he does, but that's part of my video. I'm going to work that in a little, but I don't want to do it because then I'm like worried. I don't even know if you talk about it when you're away, if it creates activity there, but tourist season is really not happening there. So maybe it would be okay right now. I don't know. But yeah.
So what we got? Hotels, brothels on the list. What else is on the list? What's that? Where else have you been, Courtney?
Well, lots of haunting.
I think it's quite cool. They do all the dressing up and everything there. Going back to the I think it's really good. They it's reenactments, isn't it? Basically, because they're dressing up, and surely whenever you do anything like that, like a time slip, whatever, reenactments, it does tend to create more energy and so on, doesn't it?
I think so, because I think it makes the ghosts more comfortable. I think I think I agree, and I like when they do it because it just feels more authentic, I guess.
Yeah, that's the next thing I'd say about it is the authenticity of the place that you've gone to as well. If it's the old decor, they're dressed up in the old clothing and so on,
Yeah, and inside they've really preserved it. And the girls, like in the movies, you see the girls all, more scantily clad for the, 1800s Wild West. But there, they do it more, with the full bloomers, and so they're racy, but they're still not racy by how like what we would think. And they talk about collecting the gold in their skirts and wearing stuff because the miners would throw gold at them, so they'd get bruised from trying to, especially if they were really good at whatever their performance was. So they had interesting ways of working around. It's very cool. Alaska is just cool because of it's just beautiful, and then it's got weird and very spirited, like the people themselves are spirited. So then you've got the ghosts, and they're spirited in the afterlife too. I just like it.
So where else have you said about Alaska? You talked about how hotels and the brothels and things. Where else have you been and done your non-investigating, shall we call it?
So restaurants, obviously, I like to eat.
Yeah.
Restaurants are another big one. And kind of among what started, it was a hotel that sort of started the whole Haunt Jaunts, but it was also a restaurant in Florida called Harry's that I was using the restroom. We went to go eat. We're on the top floor. There's a bathroom up there. I went to go use it. And there was nobody else in there, but there was somebody in there. You know what I mean? So I was like,
yeah.
I'm washing my hands and I'm looking and I can see in the mirror nobody's behind me. Somebody was behind me. So I'm freaking myself out. Go back as soon as I get, through the hall and back out to the open space with the tables. I was like, so crazy. I'm so crazy. Because this was probably like 21 years ago now. So I didn't know a lot. I just had some things and this was one. So later I'm reading a book and I'm like, it said 46 Avenida Menendez, the upstairs bathroom in St. Augustine, spirits. And I was like, 46 Avenida Menendez, where's that? And so I looked on the map, Harry's, that's where we were eating. I was like, we got to go back to Harry's. So every time we went back to Harry's, I would go up. And I think they called the ghost Inez, but I'm not positive about that. Might be confusing her with another one. But anyways, I'd go up and look for her. But one time I didn't realize somebody was in the bathroom. I'm like, Inez, are you in here? And a lady said, no, I'm somebody else. I'm like, oh, pardon me. They didn't know I was looking for a ghost, so I just walked back out.
I thought that we went to, this is New Year last year, we went to a restaurant before we went to in the afternoon we went to a restaurant. And I asked the staff, I said, about somebody I picked up on actually in the toilets, funny enough, as well. And I asked them about it and I said, and she said, oh, well, I'm kind of into that sort of thing. Well, what else can you tell me? So I was like, blah, 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 blah. And she went, I'm going to look into that. I said, yeah, please do. I said, and if I ever come back, I said, like, let me know. If what I said, the name and the other stuff that I gave you, I said, well, let me know if I ever come back. I said, if you're still here, I said, I'll ask you. But obviously with everything else that's going on here, well, I've actually now moved closer to where this restaurant is, but we went into lockdown. So as of yet, I haven't been back. So I'll be really interested to find out if the information that I gave the waitress, if she did actually go and look it up or not. That'd be quite cool if she did.
I have a restaurant with a haunted toilet story. It's obviously they like to hang out in the toilet.
Why is that?
Well, it might not have always been a toilet. It'd have been something else, wouldn't it? So you think about it, it had been made into a restaurant, so that's where the toilet went, but it wouldn't have always been there. It would have been to them, it's something else.
That's true.
With me, it's the old spaghetti factory in Vancouver, Canada.
Oh my God, I went there too. But
isn't the food amazing? It is just amazing food. I highly recommend it to anybody watching this. And it's like, yummy. My cousin and I, who I know Karen and anyone watching the video from yesterday, what you could see when my internet allowed me to speak, she may be watching now, Cindy Van Scheik-Gant, she's actually my business partner and she's my cousin and she runs our Goth Angel Productions office out in Burnaby, next door to Vancouver. Anyway, in 2016, in the March, we made a big thing about we're going to go back and eat at the spaghetti factory because we just love the food so much. And you can actually go and you can book a table in the old trolley car, which is lovely. And I took a photograph over her shoulder, which was like facing what is the bar when you walk in. And afterwards, of course, we look through the photographs back at my hotel, and a table next to the bar area and servery has an elderly couple with what looks like a younger couple, so obviously family. And between the elderly couple, there is a little tiny girl in a white dress on her tippy toes, peeking over their shoulder, between their shoulders, looking. And it's like, oh, what have you got on your plates? They were there, she wasn't, because we didn't see her at the time. And I also saw her the very first time we went, the previous October, in a different part of the area, and she's in like a Victorian cotton frilly dress.
You saw her.
But in the bathrooms, in the toilets, in the ladies' toilets, hilariously, like you said, I was washing my hands. I purposefully didn't want to find out. This was the previous October from the March. So in October 2015. And I'd gone out there specifically so that we could try to film our very, very first episode and see if we could do it. We didn't have night shot cameras. We didn't have anything. We just knew that we knew what we wanted to do. We're going to see if we could do it. And this was the day after a very long nighttime investigation, which the weather was horrible. It was cold. It was raining. But it was very, very eventful. We were exhausted, and we said, let's go to the spaghetti factory. We'll jump on the Sky Train and we'll go. We need good food and we just need to chill. And I had gone to pay the bill and go to the toilet, and I had seen, as I come down the steps from the trolley car, because we had the same table again, I see this little girl. And she's in this little frilly dress, and she has got, let's say, straight brown hair that comes to about just like below her shoulder blades. And she was skipping through the restaurant, but she was actually going through people.
Wow.
Not skipping through a crowd, disappearing through the corner of a table and a chair, and people were oblivious. And I was tired from the previous night's investigation and filming, so I didn't really pay attention. And of course, I needed to go to the bathroom. So I'm on my way to the bathroom, and I do my business, and I come and I'm washing my hands, and there's something tugs on the back of my jumper, and I'm thinking, what's that? I'm the only person in the toilet. And we'd heard rumours that the place was haunted, but again, I was so tired. I was like, oh, maybe I brought something with me from the previous night or whatever. I just want to wash my hands, go sit down, finish my food, I'll pay the bill, and then we can go back to the hotel, and maybe I can sleep. And again, because I ignore it, it goes bing, bing, and it pulls on me. And I just I look in the mirror and there's nobody there. So I ignore it, and I'm thinking, it's me. And again, bing, bing, and it pulls on me. And I'm like, right, stop now. Who are you? And I hear, maybe there's a kid coming and I can't see them because they're hiding behind me. And so I spin round really quick, and I see this little tiny flash of red, and it runs, and I hear the little footsteps, but it runs towards the toilet stalls, and I hear a door bang. But it bangs open. I like bangs shut and bang back and swings back open. So I'm going like this, and I'm pushing all the stalls open. There's nobody there. And we did some research afterwards, pardon me. And I got back to my table, and I told Cindy what had happened. And she went straight onto her phone on the internet, and she looks it all up. And she says, well, weirdly, there's something to do with a circus used to be at the pitched at the back where this toilets are now. And there's the story of frequently a man who was one of the clowns, but he actually had he was a mitochondrial dwarf, and he was dressed as a little devil in a red leather suit, and he had the little red horns on the strap around him, and he likes to pull people's coats and skirts and things, and then he'll giggle and he'll skip off and run off as if he's running into the toilets, and you'll hear the doors bang. So everything that happened to me, I was completely unaware of until after it had happened. I got back to the table and we'd done the research. And so, I mean, I'm the kind of person, if it happens, I've had stones thrown at me on investigations, and I've picked them up and thrown them back. because like, don't have the rudeness to throw it at me. If you want my attention, speak to me. Don't be rude, but I'm slightly crazy. But
Do you live somewhere near Victoria, or are you in the UK? I mean, Vancouver.
I'm in the UK mostly
Oh.
until normally once a year, and I have to go over to Los Angeles to work for the newspaper that is listed above me.
These curious times.
Yes.
That's you. I've heard of that, and I was so excited when Kieran said you would be joining. I was like, why does that name sound familiar? And then when I saw your thing, I'm like, oh, that's her. This is such a bonus. How exciting!
I'm not that special. I'm not special at all. I'm the European journalist for these Curious Times news, but it's the newspaper that's fabulous, not me.
I like how modest you are.
That's true. But
right, getting back to you, Courtney.
There we go.
Before we run out of time. I forgot what I was going to say now. So we only got as far as Alaska. Where else have you been?
Oh gosh. Well, Vancouver, because part of why I like to go to Alaska is you get to be right near Canada. And Vancouver and Victoria, actually, if it was my druthers, I would be living in Victoria right this very moment, but we haven't figured out how to do that yet. And let's see, where else? You name it, there's only a handful of US states I haven't been to yet. We've been over your way. I haven't been to York yet, but London, Guernsey, which was really cool. Where else? Oh, Liverpool. That might be it.
Have you been anywhere, any haunted locations in the UK that you know of?
We just in Guernsey, we went to the Castle Coronet. Am I saying that right? The way I want to say it and the way it is. I don't think I'm saying it right. But didn't see anything. And then, not in the UK. Well, I get confused. So Scotland, that's Scotland, right?
Yeah, but it's Scotland, England, and Wales, so it's still the UK.
Okay, so we went in search of Nessie. I mean, if you're in Scotland, you have to go to Loch Ness. So we went there and had a really awesome guide telling us about fairy rings. And when she found out that I was into ghosts, she thought that most of the ladies were on the tour for Highlander. They were all there because of the Highlander. So she had first geared it that way. Amazingly, a lot of the ladies on the tour didn't know anything about Highlander series. And then when she found out I was into ghosts, she was plethora of information. So she was really sad that we didn't have a Nessie sighting for me, because she's like, well, that would be exciting. We saw a naked man who, I guess he knows that the buses go by in this part of Inverness, and so he stands butt naked in his living room to give the tour. It's like, hello, wow, okay. That's.
Oh, I wish I'd been with you on that coach trip.
And she was singing, and then she was asking, did you see the Highland coos? And I was like, what the hell is a coo? And I was stuck on fairy, so I was looking for, I'm like, wait, you can see these things? And she's like, the coo. And I turned around and it's a cow. And I was like, oh, you say cow much more fun than we're cow. And she's like, yes, cow. It sounded so awkward. But we've been to Istanbul, Greece, Croatia, Italy, Caribbean, all over the place. Trying to think. Oh, Honduras. Trying to think of Puerto Rico. I love going to the forts. I had to go try to find the Devil's Tower. What's it called? I can't even think of what it's called in the Spanish, but at one of the forts, it's not El Morro, it's the other fort. There's the Devil's, where supposedly a guard disappeared. He either jumped into the sea. I mean, they say that he disappeared and the devil came and took him or whatever, but it's more just a legend there, pretty sure.
Oh, isn't it a sinkhole?
No, there is a Devil's sinkhole too, but it's actually a guard tower. And you can't go down to see it, but you can see it from a certain point above. But you have to kind of know. Running around with my husband trying to ask all the guys, the fort rangers, how do I find this? Like, okay, you got to go down these steps, around this corner, and then look over, and you'll see. So saw that thing, and then where else? Oh gosh, I don't know. So many places. And
so many places. You've done so much traveling. Is there okay? So where have you not been that you want to go to? Was that a better question?
Yes. In the US, I really want to go to Eureka Springs and stay at the 1886 Crescent Hotel. And then I want to go to Mackinac Island. I want to go to Natchez, Mississippi, and Gettysburg. Haven't been there. And Colonial Williamsburg. Those are probably my top for US I haven't been to yet, which is kind of weird.
We were trying to talk about Gettysburg in a previous interview earlier today, actually. Some ladies that have been there.
There, so everybody says go. You'll definitely you'll have something, and not only that, but just the history, of the place. We have, it's not at Gettysburg, but it's called Soanes River Battlefield here, and it's definitely a Civil War battle site. And I don't even know how this was last year. We went into the visitor center to talk to, well, actually, I think we just went to use the restroom, but my husband started talking to the ranger that was there. And all of a sudden the door opened. There's no wind outside. And then the other door opened. Like they're electric, and they're across from each other. He's like, oh, there goes our ghost again. And we thought he was just kidding. And he goes, I'm not joking. And then he starts telling, and he didn't know what I did. So he starts telling us all this stuff. And then of course, when I, told him what and my husband's like, you're talking her language. He started telling me, and it was really cool to hear about all the different things, because that was another place my husband went. There's what's it called? It's the blood something, but you go out and it's this big field where most of the deaths happen. And my husband, we'd never been there, and we drove and went to the little walk to look out, and he freaked out again. And it's just interesting how he reacts to these certain places. And then the guy was telling us that it was just crazy. So that was fun. But yeah, I just like to go to places. But it's weird about the bathrooms. I can't get over that. And then she's been to the seesaw. I'm like, freaking, this has been an awesome interview.
That's not my only bathroom I've
no
jumped into spirit. There's been more. There's my one favorite location, which is literally up the road from us. It's like less than 3 miles from our house where we live now. And I had my first ever trance experience in the bathroom. Yeah, I know. In the ladies, obviously. It was as well. It was madness. But anyway, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
You're just going to have to come talk to me, both of you, because now I need to know more.
Hey, when you come back to the UK, we'll take you.
Awesome. Okay.
We'll take you there. It's our team's favorite location. Well, one of two favorite locations actually. There's another location as well. We'll take you to that one as well. You have to let us know when you're coming over, when you're allowed, obviously.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you the question.
Okay.
Recently, you organised your own event, and you had our lovely Andy and Paul as your guests, which I had yesterday. Do you plan on doing another?
I don't know. They helped out so much. They were like the co-host extraordinaire, along with Andy from the Antique Paranormal Research Center. And that was a lot of work. As we were kind of talking about before this, it's so much work. So I'm still sort of recovering. I've been toying with it a little bit, but I'm like, oh, that was an awful lot of work. And like you said, I mean, it's different. I never done a in person, but wow, that was a lot. So wow, I don't know. I'm toying with it though.
Okay. You have to let us know.
And if I do, you guys have to, I don't know, maybe a joint venture, something. I mean, you guys have been awesome. I'm so excited about this.
Have you actually had time to watch? Because obviously, a different time zone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you had time to watch any of the interviews this weekend?
Sadly, yesterday I was out all day. I had meant to. I thought our day was going to be structured a little different, and we were gone for 12 hours. So, but everything I can still watch, right? On
Everything you can still watch. It's on the Facebook page. It's on our YouTube channel. It's also on our website as well. So everything from the last 2 days, yesterday and today, you can watch it. And also, we're on that point. On the event page as well, we've got exhibitors. So like a normal physical event, a little bit different to your event. So like a physical event that I do normally, we have a multitude of stall holders, readers, and then you have all your talks as well in a separate room, which are like this, obviously designated time slots and so on. So because we can't physically get out, we've still had all our stall holders, but what they've been doing is having a designated slot on the event page, and then they've been posting their all their wares and their Facebook page or their website of where you can go and still buy things from them, and they'll post them out to you because we can't actually have a physical event. So it means that nobody misses out. Everybody still gets to sell things and, still have the whole experience. It just means the whole experience is online instead.
That's awesome. I love it.
So yeah, so we got all that too.
I've just had a text message on my phone from my Curious Times news editor, Tammy McDuff-Klein, and she said she is watching, and hello to everybody.
Thank you for watching.
That's
She never commented. Tell her she should make a comment and say hi.
She's shy, and she's actually, before the weekend began, she asked me to write a review piece on the before, during, and after the weekend. So that'll be going up soon on the newspaper's website. So I will need everybody's links because it's going to hashtag like crazy.
That's awesome.
So your website, she knows your website because you've got it in front of her face.
And
Yep. Got it scrolling. Well, it's going that way actually for me.
Scroll in the opposite direction.
Yeah, people will see it up backwards the other way around from me when they watch.
Of course. So, Courtney, if people want to find out more about you and what you're doing, obviously we've got the website. If you've got a Facebook page, if you've got Twitter, where can people find you?
So Haunt Jaunts, you can find Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the website, and did I say YouTube? But the YouTube's really, it's been a little stalled, so that's coming. Hopefully this week I finally get one.
When she's finished all her other projects, she'll get onto that as well.
Yeah. Oof, yeah. But I've been trying to work, but then my website unfortunately crashed this week, and I knew we would be sort of talking about, I'm like, it's kind of important I get this up. So I was really trying to, it's a little bit funky still right now, but I think it's patched. Might have to do some more tomorrow, but.
Oh, bless. Yeah, because you had some problems, haven't you? It literally crashed on you and completely.
Literally, yeah, it was not good. I was like, what is happening?
I like to. So unfortunately, we've run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Michelle Ruse will be waiting for me shortly because she's our next guest that's on today, and our final guest for the day. And then that's it. It's all finished and it's done already. Like one more guest and that's it. It's gone really quick this weekend. Believe it or not, running from like 10 till 8 both days. Yeah, I look at your face, Courtney. You're like, what?
One day was hard, but 2 days I'm just like, wow. And you still look so sane and fresh.
Oh, thank you.
You should have seen me, all the tech behind this, making sure all the videos are live and available everywhere, except for the YouTube, because Karen's involved in charge of that one. Make sure the website is up, running, live, sorted. That was was that 2 weeks ago? I don't know, because it's all blurred into one.
No, I was like, right, I want this website and I want it to look like this and I want this. I'm so bossy. I want this, I want this, I want this. No, it's because I had intentions of doing this weekend, but I hadn't actually put it out there publicly yet. So I was like, right, we've literally relaunched and rebranded in the past less than a month. We were known as a completely different company. So we've relaunched, we've rebranded, we've got a website, we've got a Facebook page, we've got a YouTube channel, we've got a Twitter account, we're on Instagram. And between us, we've got all of that set up, ready for this weekend.
Holy wow!
But
So
I
you'll
don't do
have
things by halves, Courtney. Literally, I don't do things by halves. If I decide I'm going to do something, that's it.
you
I'm
do
doing
it.
Yeah.
I
literally.
love it.
Right, I'm going to say thank you to you both for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody commenting and watching. I hope you can join me when I join Michelle in the next 10 minutes. And see you all soon. Thank you, Courtney. I will be in contact and we'll have another chat at another time. Thanks, Dee.
Me too. I'm going
Thank
to
you,
friend
Kim.
you, girl.
Nice to meet you, Karen. And
I'll find
everybody.
I'll find you on Facebook and I will add you as a friend, and then we can chat.
Awesome. Okay. I'm in. Yay.
Okay, thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.